Okay, and we
Mhm.
are live. Good day,
Awesome.
everybody. Welcome to our Launch Your Global Career series. This is our very first episode, and we are extremely excited to have you here. Um, so we have 20 minutes to discuss everything, and it's quite short, but we want it to be impactful, practical, and really just straight to the point, really. My name is Kiliki, and I am your host for today. And we are joined by Charles. Charles has experience across so many countries, and Charles will share his wisdom, his insights on how he was able to build a globally competitive career. Charles, welcome.
Thanks so much,
Hi, say hi
Kaliki,
to our
for the
audience.
hi. Hi, everyone. It's an honor to be here, and it's a real privilege for me to be able to join my friend Kaliki for this conversation. Doesn't matter that I share our history, like we go back all the way back
Yes,
to London when
university.
we did our masters in global public health together, and you became like a sister,
Ah,
an accountability partner, and also somebody that I could, you know, learn from. And since then, we've maintained our relationship, Namibia Ghana connection, and
yeah.
even though I'm in Canada, we continue to still do this. We check in on each other, we celebrate our milestones together, and to me, it just shows how it's a global village at the end of the day. And you know, people like you make the world a better place, and I'm privileged to be part of your circle. Mhm.
Oh, thank you so much. The feeling is absolutely mutual. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Charles. Um, so I think let's just get right into it. We
Yeah.
want to hear your story. We understand that people have different strategies and and ways on how to build a global career. But I think we
Mhm.
just want to hear from you firstly. What does having a global career mean to you, and how did you kind of get um, into this world of you know exporting your skills and experiences across the globe? Maybe let's start there.
Yeah. I think when we say a global career, I personally believe that the world is everywhere you find yourself, right?
Yeah.
The world is, like when I was in London, I remember a friend who used to tell me that, the world is your oyster. And basically, it meant that I could be anywhere and still make an impact with whatever little that I was doing. So
Mm,
I know when we say global career, the mindset might or the thinking might be going to, oh yeah, you have to be in a Western country to be able to make a global impact or to be able to have a global influence, but completely not the case, right? I believe
mm,
that wherever you find yourself, your global career could be happening there. And that could mean that you are in Namibia, you're in Ghana, but it is the reach of the work that you are doing that makes your
mm,
global career or that makes it a global career is the reach of it. Are you able to extend your services? Are you able to extend, you know, whatever you're producing to a larger population beyond the confines of the country or the space that you find yourself? That is
mm,
when you have a global career. Like right now, you are streaming on YouTube. That is global, right?
mm.
So I believe that a global career basically extends beyond working in a Western country, but actually is about how much of an extension or a reach you are making with whatever services that you are providing. And personally, for me, my global career started in Ghana. It started in Ghana when I developed a passion for working with children with mental health needs, and I worked with children with autism. Following that, I had the opportunity to pursue a master's in England, doing master's in global public health. There also, I had the opportunity to make an impact with the children and youth that I worked with. I worked within the school system and the mental health system in the UK. Then eventually I moved to Canada,
Mm,
where it was a bit of an experience. I had completed a master's with a lot of hopes, and
mm,
I moved into a new country with aspirations and a lot of confidence that with my master's I was going to change the world. Then the
Mm,
world changed with COVID, and suddenly I couldn't get a job, right? So that moment actually put me in a place of needing to be humble, and that period of humility meant that I had to be a cleaner in some places that I wouldn't even work professionally.
mm,
Sometimes I had to also do manual labor, right?
mm,
And I still thought about the fact that I was making an impact, be it small at the time. I was
mm,
providing a service to other people who needed it.
mm,
So I kept the big picture in mind that one day I was going to get to a point where I could actually have the opportunity to do the things that I want to do. That is to be able to flourish in my actual profession. And I paid the price. I paid my dues then, right? You know, one thing that I believe is you do what you need to do until you don't need to do it anymore,
I like that.
right? And those moments taught me humility. It taught me that sometimes your qualification doesn't say anything, but your service and your humility and your attitude is what will really make you stand out. And I bet you, even when I was doing these jobs that were mostly painful for my body, I still showed up with the right attitude. I still
Mm,
showed up with respect for my employers. I
mm,
still appreciated and showed gratitude for where I
mm,
was because I knew that wasn't going to be my destination if I continued to show up with the right attitude. But for me to have said, I'm not going to do this because I have a master's education was going to be a disadvantage to me and a disservice to myself because who will give you the opportunity to show up big
mm,
if you can't show up small?
mm.
So that is how my global career has, was launched and has been sustained. And I continue to show up in the same ways that I showed up for the small stuff with diligence, dedication, passion, respect, the right attitude, and still smiling, right?
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
wow, Charles,
Yeah.
that's so profound. I'm literally, that is absolutely spot on. And I actually wanted to just draw on the part that you said that global career does not necessarily mean that you need to be elsewhere, but is actually extending your services from where you are into other markets. And um, I think just looking at myself as well, when I was in Namibia, I
Mhm.
was project managing, or my work extended to South Africa, Mozambique, Botswana, Eswatini, and Lesotho. But even though
Mhm.
I was based in Namibia, and so we
Exactly.
would have online calls and all of that. I would provide input into work being done in those other countries,
Mhm.
even though I am based in Namibia. And I think that's where even remote working is coming into play, that now you're able to work across different markets
Mhm.
while
Mhm.
still based in your home country. And that in itself is a global career still, because you're exporting your
Definitely.
services.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and then I just also wanted to highlight, having a right attitude, your gratitude, just the foundational values that we're
Yeah.
raised up with.
Yeah.
It's really, really true. If you don't show up with this, and with the right attitude with the small things, then how are you
Mhm.
going to show up differently in the big things? So that's really,
Exactly.
really profound. Thank you so much. So you said you've had different job roles until your current role now, where you're manager. I just
Yeah.
want to I think our audience would want to understand what type
Mhm.
of strategy did you employ to get the job that you have now, in terms of, like, did you use any software to find the job? Maybe you used LinkedIn. How did you end up landing the job that you are currently having?
That's a very good question. So my current position is actually within a health authority. So
Yeah.
in the UK, you would call that the trust, right? The health trust. So we
Mm,
call ours the health authority. So within this current position, I've had the opportunity of actually leveraging my previous position. So I
Mm,
started in this organization as a mental health and substance use clinician. Then a year and 2 months in, I got a lead position to lead a child and youth mental health program.
mm,
Then 8 months later, I got a manager position. So with that, I would say that it's that internal recruitment processes within my
okay.
organization and exploring in-house opportunities for me to upskill, right?
Mm,
But how did I actually get into this institution? I think that is where your actual
yes.
question is. What kind of tools? So LinkedIn definitely is a great resource for anybody who is trying to launch their career.
Mhm,
And what LinkedIn does is that it gives you that reach to any part of the world, any job in the world that you can dream of, regardless of your location. LinkedIn
mm,
gives you that resource. In Canada, here, we have another job search, a popular one that is called Indeed,
mhm,
Indeed. So, Indeed is one place that I actually ended up learning about my current organization.
mm,
But what I also noticed is that a lot of jobs are not posted on job sites, they are actually posted on the actual employer's website.
mhm,
And the best place that you can sometimes get, a luxury of opportunities or job options is to go to the government website, because every job within the country is more or less like superseded by the government of the country, right? So
mm,
if you want a job, if you are thinking about health sector, go to the health sector page or the health website of the government. Go
mm,
to their career section, go to their employment or jobs offer sections, and you get a variety of jobs that you can apply from there,
mm,
right? So I definitely believe that, using job sites, like Indeed, LinkedIn are great,
mm,
but it's worth sometimes going into the actual, organizational website to really find what are the options that are there for me. Because those
mm.
options are usually unlimited, and it also help you to know what the organization is really about. So that in case you are getting an opportunity to go for an interview, you know your source of that, opportunity that you apply for, and you have all the information that you need to show up
Mm.
greatly for an interview.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I agree, and I know Indeed as well is quite is quite massive here. I absolutely agree. And just with these tools, did you have any like cap in terms of you told you had a strategy where every day you must apply for 2 LinkedIn jobs, you must apply for 4 indeed.com jobs or government, like how does that work in actually utilizing these tools? Is it a daily thing? Is it a weekly thing? How did you manage to look into all of
Okay,
these
that's a
sites?
very beautiful question. So the best advice that I had about job application
Hmm.
is to treat it as though you were fully applied in that job already. When you are
That
hunting,
uh-huh.
to treat it as though it's your full-time job.
Okay.
I thought that was a better way to put it. So
Yeah.
when you're applying for jobs, that is your only jobs at that time, is a
Mm,
full-time job. So that would mean that there isn't a limit to how many you can apply. That is your full-time job. How
mm,
many hours you have in a full-time job? About
mm,
7 hours to 8 hours.
mhm,
So every hour should give you a number of jobs that you're applying to, and it's unlimited. I would say that before I got into my current organization, at the time I had a job,
mhm.
right? But I used that full-time job, and I used my job application processes as a part-time job. So I would go to work,
Mhm.
and when I was done working, I come back and spend half the time that I would have spent at work applying for jobs. So that
Yeah.
is about 3 to 4 hours, right?
Wow.
And in total, this is on LinkedIn and Indeed alone, I would have LinkedIn and Indeed. I'm not overestimating. I would have applied to about 300 to 400 jobs. Yes. Yeah. This is
Wow.
this is what the records on LinkedIn and Indeed combined showed me. Now I
Mm,
want to add about when I went to the actual job sites, those government related websites where there were jobs. I applied because I was sending my resume like that. So it goes like that as
mm,
I was flipping money.
mm,
Because if my name wasn't in the ballot box, I couldn't get the opportunity. But if
mm,
my name wasn't in the poll, I couldn't get the opportunity to be invited for an interview. And that's the way I
mm,
looked at it. And the larger that I can make my pool, the likelihood, the more likelihood that I can swim in a pool
mm.
of opportunities, right? So I would say that put in as many as you can. I can't quantify it, but I
Yeah.
think it has to come down to how badly do you need a job?
Mm,
If you need a job so badly, you need a full-time, part-time job.
mm,
If you're already in a job and let's say you are trying to pivot to a different organization, you
mm.
need that full-time job that you are doing in addition to your job application being a second full-time job.
Yeah.
if if you are unemployed, job application is your full-time job until you become employed.
Mm,
So that means you are committing about 7 to 8 hours every day, putting in one application after the other. And let me give the details, let me give the breakdown of how you can actually fill your time doing this. Every job comes with a job description. And to be able to stand out in the job market, you have to be able to tailor your resume or your CV to every job description that you are coming across.
mm,
So for me, I had a variety of, resumes that I would keep. So I'll have resume one, like up to resume five.
mhm.
So I had my generic resume that I will push into job applications that it didn't really matter to me whether I
Yeah.
got invited for an interview or not. Those
Yeah.
ones got the generic. But the
Mhm,
ones that were really appealing to me, I made sure that I tailored every detail of my resume to
mm,
match the job description's requirement. And that means I had to moves up from saying, oh, I organized this, I led this, I did this. No, the job requirement may be asking you the ability to manage, a team of interprofessional, staff members.
mm,
You have to be able to say, in my previous organization, I organized and led a team of 10 people. And here we are using quantifiables. Don't just say
mm,
you manage a team.
mm,
Give your employer the opportunity to really get a context to the experience that you've had. So I manage
mm,
a team of 10 professionals doing one, two, three, four, five, because
mm,
then they get a better picture of what kind of work you actually did,
mm.
right? So tailoring your resume to match every job description, that's the reason why it has to be a full-time job because it takes time and it takes a lot of intentionality. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that, and it's absolutely spot on. So I'm just looking at the time now because we have 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I want to use that 1 minute to just maybe for you to just share like one final thought or advice to our audience.
Mhm. Oh, one final thought.
Yeah.
I think I would say to your audience that small beginnings shouldn't stop you from the opportunity to actually pursue that beautiful ending that awaits you. And
Mm,
sometimes the small beginnings are the opportunity for you to be tested, to know, for you to learn about yourself and your capacity, and for you to also earn the trust of those people who have the power and the capacity to give you bigger opportunities. So if
mm,
you downplay small beginnings, you are likely not to have big opportunities ahead of you. And I would say that humility, respect for others, and treat everybody with respect. The
Mm,
CEO, the cleaner, the receptionist, everybody.
I love that. Humility and respect to everybody. Those should be your foundational principles in any job market. I absolutely love that. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Thank you so much, Charles, for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your story. And I'm so sure our audience will be able to relate to you. Um,
Mhm.
and maybe just do you, if people want to maybe support the work that you're doing, you see, you mentioned your NGO or anything like that, where can people find you?
I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay.
LinkedIn is the best place. The name is Charles Namache.
Yeah.
Um, that's the only social media
Yeah.
platform that
Wonderful.
I'm mostly on. I
Yeah.
don't do a lot of Facebook. Even WhatsApp is just for this purposes. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants to connect with me, LinkedIn is the best place to do that. Charles Namache.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Charles, for joining us. And we will remain in touch. Hopefully, we'll see you again on this episode. But thank you so much for your time. We
Thanks so
appreciate
much
it.
for the opportunity, Kiliki. And I wish all your audience who are aspiring to have global careers the best. Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for
Go
it.
for it.
Yeah. You're
Thank
made for more.
you. Bye.
Bye.